Welcome back to Pixels for People 2023. We're raising money for Child's Play all weekend long, and we're doing it as fast as we can. Speedruns for days. And up next is one of my all-time favorites. Aptamerica is on deck to bring us a 100% run of Mega Man X. And thanks to the generosity of the community, we've met our incentive for this run, so we get to do things a little differently. It might say Mega Man X on the tin, but we're going to let his friend Zero do the heavy lifting tonight. Once again, this is our last run for the day 2 of our event, but don't despair, we've got plenty to go on Sunday. Lots of speedruns, lots of games, prizes to be won, and a worthy cause to support. It's all good this weekend, and thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. For now, we got to hit the highway. Aptamerica, take it away.
Hey, thank you so much for the introduction. Hey, everyone, thanks for hanging out, watching some Mega Man X. This is an interesting little ROM hack that just recently started running, but I always liked Zero a little bit more than X, so I'm excited for the chance to play it. Charles, also known as O Trials in the community, is going to be doing commentary for me so that I can focus a bit more on the game. And
of course.
I'll let him take over and introduce himself.
Hey guys, O Trials here. As App said, I'll be handling some of the commentary through the run. This is a little bit different, as you can already see from the gameplay demo at the start here, than the standard Mega Man X. We are going to be playing Mega Man Z, the objectively correct way to pronounce it. Apt, whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and get started. This is a ROM hack made by Programmer Peru. Not sure how old it is, but we'll notice, I guess, the first major differences right here on the title screen. This will play a big part in the run. Unfortunately, Zero is a little bit taller than X, so as you see the start here of the game, the shot height is a little bit higher than it is with X, and that may influence some of the strats Apt has to take later in the run.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, and go.
And good luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, bud.
So we got the highway stage, a classic for anybody familiar with the Mega Man X series. A lot of heavy mashing in this beginning stage, and obviously we are at walking speed as well. No dash yet. It's the only game in the X series where you do start with just walking. So as we get through this section here, just mashing down the tacos and the blue guys here, make our ways to the bees. Apt is going to hope for machine gun or missile bees, and it looks like we've got a machine gun bee to start it out with. Good mash there. But we will see that difference in shot height play a factor here toward the end of the intro stage when we get to the section where the ship is dropping the cars. Because unfortunately, once the driver of the car has been taken out, you can no longer buster down the car. The lemons sail right over the top, and the only way to take them out is with charge shots, significantly slowing down the process enough that we're going to probably see more than just 2 cars drop from the ship.
Yep.
And a little bit of improv probably going to be required here. But so far, pretty clean intro stage. Looks like we've got enough health for task cars. It does play out, luckily, as normal here with the task car strats. We're going to ride on those for just a little bit, speed up the process here.
Important difference, though, you have to walk off the back, because if you try and kill it with a charge shot from the top, you will die.
Yeah, it does not work. And so you can see there he's unable to actually take that car out completely. So he does have to do a 3-car strat here. But with a blast there, we are going to finish up the stage. So obviously you can see he's taking some damage throughout. That is to hasten the vial encounter here. We do have to come into it with 3 or less health. Same as normal. But instead of being rescued by Zero, we are now going to be rescued by everyone's favorite Blue Bomber X.
That was a weird vial pattern.
That was a very strange vial pattern.
Yeah, you don't see him to the left side of whatever character you have that often.
Now, of all of the things that have changed in this ROM hack, one of the things that hasn't changed actually is the text. So there was a pretty significant effort put into reskinning the game with Zero. But just the same text as normal, and it doesn't quite make sense in some areas, but as this is a speed run, we're just going to be quickly moving past that text anyway. Couple differences here in the opening strats of Penguin because of the difference in shot height, where we would normally want to walk down this last slope as far as we could to maintain slope speed. We can't do that because we can't reach the bunny with our shot, so instead we just jump over about halfway up the hill. Ooh. And so far, pretty decent execution here. I have just learned about this hack about 12 hours ago, so if anybody notices any differences that we do not call out, feel free to put them in the chat.
Definitely.
But some good slope jumps there from Apt as well. Slope jumps obviously giving us some extra height and speed to our jumps. And here, really, again, a lot of work put into a Wily capsule rather than Dr. Light, yet with the same text saying good luck, X. But now that we have the dash boots here in Penguin stage, this run is going to pick up speed quite a bit. Unfortunately, no stop hallway here is virtually impossible with the difference in shot height, so we make a one stop instead. And a quick visit into the mech here so we can get onto the top route of Penguin stage. Unfortunately, bottom route, while being way more interesting, is about 40 frames slower optimally. So top route it is. And through the snowballs. So, major differences incoming here with Penguin. Casual and speedrun participants alike are going to notice a couple of things immediately here. First and foremost, let's see if we get... There's a slide. Little bit faster than we're used to. And the ice breath attack as well no longer is just going to take up about half the room. It takes up the entire room now. So he does have to work on avoiding that. And it does influence his damage output a little bit, but Apt has put a fair amount of practice into this ROM hack. So he has perfected the art of not taking damage there. Much better than 12 hours ago, I assure you. But we are going to be sticking to the Chameleon third speedrun route here. And so that means our next stage select is going to be Twanger, widely considered to be one of the hardest stages in the game because of the verticality. Climbing in these games is very difficult to optimize, but the main component here is going to be arguably one of the most famous, well-known jumps in almost right wall there. In the entire series, the iceless jump to get the heart here early. And so we'll see if Apt can get that. Zero's hitbox does seem in this hack to be just X's normal hitbox, but it may be shifted slightly. We're not entirely sure. So the lineup for the iceless jump is a little bit different, especially with the size of Zero's sprite in comparison to X. It doesn't quite match what he's used to, so it may not be a first try iceless here, but we'll hope for it.
Also, real quick, just to point out, that was a 2-second gold in Guigo.
Ah, a 2-second goal. Nice. And so just now working on the outside climb here. And getting up to the top. We will notice some differences with the Quanger boss fight as well, but we'll go over that when we get there. We'll see how he does with Iceless. Almost second try. Almost third try.
Oh.
Where boys become men.
That was it.
That was it. Just need the regrab. So close here, guys.
This is an easy
But
jump.
it is a requirement of this road that he hits this jump here, so we We need to hang out on the red wall until we get it.
There we go.
There it is. All
Easy
right,
jump.
first try. And so the differences with the Kwanger boss fight here, not immediately noticeable, but the eagle-eyed viewer might notice that Kwanger's iframes are extended. So rather than just the typical 60 frames, it does appear to be around 120 frames, 2 full seconds, where he is unable to be hit. And where we would normally want to engage in a dance with him, the Kwanger Tango, it is incredibly difficult to time it and not lose it. And so he got a little bit of it there. But a major component that will come in the Sig 1 refight with Kwanger is his speed is massively increased. So if he chooses to dash straight off the bat, it's going to be tight.
And this is gonna gold by 28
Lots of gold
seconds.
pouring in.
We're optimizing.
Okay, so now we're on our way to Chameleon. Now we're going to be attacking the first of hopefully several Phantom grabs of the run. Apt is going to give one go here at the Chameleon third Phantom grab. Unfortunately, because this hack was built off of the 1.1 ROM of the game, that does mean that item juggling between the boomerangs is not a thing. So instead, we're going to see him completely ignore that first drop, go down and break the blocks, and then climb back up to farm for a drop. And that'll allow him to get into position with just the use of one boomerang.
Please. Thank you.
Really unlucky on the drops there, though, but...
Got it.
Oh, and he gets it.
Oh!
We died, but that's okay. Getting the heart was the most important bit. That is incredibly difficult. Guys, just to explain Phantom grabs in a very cursory manner, there are manipulation of the game's item data to force an off-screen item to spawn inside the boomerang rather than its intended spawn point. Most Phantom grabs in the game involve at least a single frame perfect input, but they're made significantly easier by way of buffered inputs through item collection fanfare, so that's why you were seeing him take damage at the start of the stage. So we are down a life for the Hadoken capsule revisits later on, but we will have a quick one to grab an eagle stage so we can get back up to where we need to for that. But yeah, excellent execution there, because like we talked about earlier, the sprite being a different size than X, it's difficult to understand where the visual cue is for that Phantom grab, so just achieving that in this run is massive benefit there. Good cave there as well.
I put a lot of work into that today.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of practice here in the Chameleon stage. So we did grab, as you can see, one extra life there. That is the usual extra life that we would normally grab in the standard Mega Man X speedrun. He does still need one more later on, unless he happens to get a lucky drop somewhere in one of these stages. But the safest one to go for is going to be the one in Eagle. So coming up on Chameleon boss fight, a couple things we're going to notice different here. Chameleon does not get knocked back by the boomerangs as typical, which means that just juggling him back and forth from the left and right side of the rooms is no longer possible.
Oops.
And his iframes are also significantly extended, sort of like Kwanger was. I believe they're about 2 seconds here as well, which is going to extend how long he needs to survive in this fight. Most speedrunners would find this Chameleon fight in the standard game to be one of the easier ones to be consistent at. Unfortunately, this no knockback feature kind of turns the fight into something you would see in the Buster only version of the run.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Nice finish. Okay, now, Eagle stage coming up next. We are going to see, hopefully, our second Phantom Grab of the run here. Again, because of sprite differences, the visual cues are going to be slightly more difficult to line up, but thankfully we've got the building on the left-hand side that ideally Apt is going to be able to use on the fall and won't need to do any adjustments on the ground. But the carpet ride is, again, slightly different because of that sprite difference. It can be a little bit harder to know when to do your jumps just because of the lack of visual standardization. I don't think we got it.
Nope.
No carpet there. That's okay. Probably an easier time here just going through the stage normally. Don't have to worry about despawning the sub-tank later on. Nice Flag City climb as well. But instead we'll just ride this pillar up to the top, take out the glass, and grab the sub-tank as intended. As we come up on the Eagle boss fight, the main benefit of running Chameleon Third is going to come into play, which is that we have access to C-Sting early, which is Eagle's weakness, so that can hopefully negate some of the usual RNG that we would face without Chameleon Sting. On average, saving between 8 to 12 seconds, just based on what RNG you do get. But there are a few differences in the fight as well once we get there. Immediately noticeable right off the bat, Eagle will always start with his standard gust attack where he flaps his wings, and he does remember the extra life there as well. Very good memory. So the gust strength has been increased, which makes it actually quite difficult to keep Eagle on screen and maintain the damage output. And then if we happen to see any dives, let's just say they're a little bit faster than usual. We'll see what kind of RNG we get here. But as you can see, just walking for even a few frames. Oh, here come the dives at Mach 7. Only one. Not bad RNG. Good kill.
Thank you, thank you.
And now we get to probably the oddest stage in this ROM hack, Mammoth stage, where we're going to collect the Buster upgrade. And the reason why I say it's odd is because this is the only stage and boss that we're aware of that has had no modification whatsoever. So unfortunately, no big surprises here, but we do still have a couple of technical jumps coming up here, namely to get the climb up to the Buster capsule. Looks like we're going bottom route here on the conveyors. Going top route there does save almost a second, but is much harder to execute on. Good, almost immediate entry on the capsule climb as well. Could be a side effect of the hitbox differences. Who knows?
He doesn't look like he should fit in that climb.
He really doesn't. Zero, especially in the playable version in X3, known for being exceptionally wide.
Ooh.
And okay, we didn't quite make the ice sled jump here. There we go, second try. And so this boomerang here, again, given to us early in the game by doing Kwanger second, allows us to avoid entering some of these spaces to grab these items and instead just fly on by them, grabbing them with the boomerangs as we go. Making use of the charged C-Sting here as well now that we've got the Buster upgrade, so flying through the conveyor section as well as this pipe section, not having to worry about slowing down for any of the enemies here.
Oops. Missed the dash.
Yep, and again, just a very strange thing that of all of the things that were changed in this ROM hack, Mammoth was left alone. Pretty standard fight here. We're just going to be firing tornadoes with good timing and up high. And that'll allow double hits here.
Oh,
Looks like we missed one double hit, but otherwise good fight. And now, again, as part of the Chameleon third routing here, instead of heading directly to our next Maverick, we're going to take the Firewave upgrade we just got and head to the Penguin Heart Revisit instead. But I believe Apt is going to be using Sea Sting as an opener for the Penguin Heart Revisit because the Buster strats that typically I know that he uses don't quite line up with the different release point. And then one thing, just as we go through the Penguin Revisit here, that you may have noticed is on Knockback, it looks like the unused palette from the standard Mega Man X game 4.0 is used in the Knockback, which I did find pretty interesting that they went that extra length. If any donations have come through, now would be a good time for them.
I do have one. I want to time it out just right because you have to say it at just the right time in Mandrill stage. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm curious. All right. I hope it's someone cheering for Gray Mega Man.
To be colorblind. All right. The opener here to Mandrill is actually deceivingly tricky, but Apt getting through there, not too bad. Again, Boomerang's coming in handy to grab the sub-tank there as well, and the Charge Sea Sting making this section of the game a lot easier.
Okay, I'll drop this donation now if that's okay.
Go for it.
$39 coming in from Mittens that simply says, "Yo, this song is really good."
I love it.
Somebody had to say it.
Yo,
Somebody had to say it.
It's perfect.
With that donation, it brings us to a grand total of $1,800 raised for Child's Play. Thank you so very, very much, everyone. Beautiful round number to bring us into the closing stages of day 2. Let's keep it going.
That's amazing.
Yeah, amazing work
Wow.
there, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for that donation. Gotta agree, this is a good song.
All right. So Apt, obviously making his way through here pretty quickly, missing a ladder gap. That's all right. A lot of the game, especially in some of these areas, is actually very lag heavy. So you may see some strats coming out in Mandrill stage and the Armadillo stage as well, where lag reduction is king. So it may look on the surface to be the suboptimal strategy, but generally just eliminating that lag can save time. The Mandrill boss fight here, as you may have noticed, he can't be frozen with ice, and his spark attack wrapping the room multiple times at a much higher speed than usual. So those are the two main changes here with Mandrill, but again, Apt making short work of it.
I like the new boss fights in this. They're really fun, actually. Ooh, gold by 0.6.
Hey, another gold. All right, Armadillo stage coming up next, and not much has changed about the Armadillo stage itself, but we will notice some pretty significant differences again when we get to the boss fight. I believe Apt will be going for a new style booty method here, which does not use your booty.
No drop.
And a little bit too high, no drop. Wasn't meant to be. Maybe round 2 when we come back for the revisits. We'll see. But again, just going to be abusing the Charge Sea Sting as much as possible. It does assist with lag reduction, as every third frame the sprite for the player, in this case 0, is not drawn, which can reduce the load on the processing system of the console. And we're going to be doing a manipulation here, hopefully he gets it, of the Boomerang's travel to grab that heart on our way by without slowing down. Again, just another deceivingly difficult part of the run. A couple of well-timed jumps and a very specific release of the boomerang. There we have seen the ledge where the infamous Hadoken capsule typically spawns. That is our first visit of 5 total that we need before it finally shows up. So we will be becoming intimately familiar with that later on in the run. But on to the Dillo boss fight here. As you can see, normally he would have lost his armor by now, his weakness being Spark. His iframes last for, I'm not sure, between 3 and 4 seconds here. And he does also spin around the room again at Mach 7. Real obsession with speeding these things up to ridiculous amounts.
Yeah.
Possibly accessing parallel worlds, something like Super Mario 64.
Ooh, gold by 5.
Another gold.
We're moving.
As long as we come in underestimate. A lot of labbing has been done today, folks, to try and get this run to fit in the allotted time.
Yeah, I thought the allotted time was 45 minutes too, so.
On to Octo stage. Very speedy opener there. Nice strides. We're going to be using, again, Sea Sting to trivialize a lot of the sections of this stage. Taking out the searchlights on these submarines is a lag reduction strat. So again, even though it doesn't look immediately that it's faster, taking those searchlights out just reduces a ton of potential lag that does save time in the long run. I believe Apt is going to be going for Zamnado here. A relatively recent strat, all things considered, how old the speedrun is. And he gets it. And the first of 2 Utuboros is down here guarding the last heart that we need. There will be, as we climb up here, another Utuboros that spawns. This one, luckily, its hitbox becomes active well before it is visible. So a charged tornado can take it out before we ever even see it underground. Onto the Octo boss fight. This is mostly unchanged, with one exception. If he does give us the pattern where he goes to do his life drain attack, the speed that he pulls, in this case 0 in, again increased. A real obsession with the speed adjustments here.
We're trying so hard
we
not
get,
to say it.
Yeah. we do get the coveted suckless pattern.
Very good RNG right there.
Very good RNG. Of course, on a ROM hack. And now we're going to be moving on to the revisits for the Hadoken capsule. So again, as stated before, actually we're just going to meet X here outside of the Sigma 1 stage.
Got
and
it.
he gets the swap.
Nice.
Nice to see it. Frame perfect trick there to get that broken sprite to show up. But yeah, we're going to be doing a revisit here. We need the sub-tank still, but other than that, that is the final upgrade we need. And beyond that, we're just going to be visiting that upper ledge a total of 4 more times here. So a perfect time if we have any donations or a read for Child's Play, that'd be great.
Absolutely. I don't have any new donations right now, but I mean, I've got to plug our grand prize again here. It's so appropriate. For a $20 donation, you can win this game, this one that we're playing on the screen right now. Mega Man X is part of the Mega Man game bundle. It is one of the 25 you pick up when you get this prize. Remember, you're also getting that TMNT Cowabunga bundle and the Castlevania bundles. $20 donation gets you in for the draw for all 3 of these bundles.
Incredible. Yeah, that's
Whoops.
that's huge. Oh, little mishap on the cart.
We're fine. We're fine.
It's okay. We've trained for these circumstances.
Yep, I'm a professional. This is all right. Don't try that at home though. If you win that copy of the game, do not attempt this.
Yes. So Apt typically would be jumping at the correct timing there to avoid the bird spawns.
Typically,
But
yes, I would be.
Things went a little sideways there. We'll see a better visit hopefully on round 3.
Can only hope.
Yes. Now, a couple misconceptions with the Hadoken as well when it comes to Mega Man X. You do not need full sub-tanks, and you do not need to have the armor or all weapons or anything of the sort until the final visit. The only requirements then being that you are at currently full health and have all of the items in the game. So that is our second revisit. We're going to do one more revisit to see that ledge, and then we'll be making that capsule spawn. Overall as well, just noticing, on a pretty good pace. I'm not sure what your actual plus or minus is there, Apt, but
Currently, we are minus 37, with a best possible of 40-35.
minus 37 minutes. Pretty impressive.
Seconds, but if only. That was after my
Alright.
first run.
Coming up on our final visit here now. I see in the chat, Trials, is it true the visits don't count if it isn't at full life? The visits do
No.
count. The only way that they don't is if you don't see the appropriate spot on the ledge.
Rule of thumb is you need to see that life capsule at the top. That counts as your visit.
Yeah, just a couple pixels behind the life capsule. And so, a quick preview there of what's to come. We have a Saber instead of a Hadoken, even though we still get the Hadoken audio. But here we'll be meeting back up with X, who is going to take the usual role of Zero and go on scouting ahead. And it looks like we are going for Optifly.
Oops.
Lots of drops, and he does get the platform to spawn. So that is the final Phantom Grab of the run. One of the more tricky ones as well. The main time save there, if you do get it, coming from the way the carpet is ridden into the hallway here. So as you can see, Apt is taking a significant amount of damage. This is all intended. Don't worry. Again, he's a professional. We're going to be jumping over the cutscene trigger here instead of standing on the floor. That will start what is known as the Vile Skip, where we are overlapping multiple cutscenes on top of each other and forcing Vile to engage the fight earlier than normal, and X instead taking the place of Zero, making the sacrifice to take out Vile's ride armor.
Oh, Paradox has a point. We do still have the possibility for Kawanger skip if we want more Phantom Grabs.
True.
Any fans of Sig 2 carpet in chat?
Any soft lock fans in chat? All right, and we get our first Saber of the run. Hopefully many more.
Hopefully.
And now here we're going to visit X, who's looking a little bit worse for wear.
It's a little rough.
But it's okay, he's just off to get some upgrades himself. And it looks like we're going for Tiki Climb here. Extra wall kick might not make it. He does make it.
No, we're
very,
fine.
very tight. So again, the Kawanger refight here going to be made a little bit more tense by the speed. And he does get it off. Not the immediate one we were hoping for. The teleport pattern kind of making you pucker a little bit, but
I was a little scared.
Now, again, another difference here from the main game. Typically, the Hadoken in Mega Man X is a one-hit kill. There are very few enemies in the game who can take more than one. bad guess on the spider pattern. But in this hack, the spider does not go down with just one. We need two. And as any percent runners may know, once he does get below half health, the pattern typically speeds up. So thankfully it does not do more than 16 damage. Otherwise that second one would be a little bit more difficult to get off.
I was a bit concerned there.
Yep. A little low on the sub tanks.
Just a touch.
Just a bit. Now we get on to Sigma 2. Lots unchanged here, but again, a couple of differences that may impact how this goes. So the Penguin Hadoken, or should I say the Penguin Saber, as normal, but the Eagle fight's going to be slightly different. And a little bit slow there. Looks like he's going to be playing it safe here.
There we go.
Gets the backup. Well done. Now we are out of sub-tanks. So this is where things start to get interesting.
It'll be alright.
Looks like he's going for the Buster hallway through here.
Oops.
I wasn't sure if that was going to be a changed strategy or not based on the difference in Buster shot height, but looks like we're going with the rolling shield.
Trying to just get a little
Just
something.
farming for some health. Nothing coming through.
No.
And so this is where things are going to get interesting. Because of how much stronger Eagle's Gust is, the Saber or the Hadoken right off the bat is not possible. Luckily, good RNG means we don't have to deal with any Mach 7 dives, and the run continues. The Rangda fight coming up next, it is, from what I've seen anyway, unchanged from the usual game. Still weak to C-Sting. The Saber does the typical amount of damage that it normally would to each part, but we will be fighting the face. We got one Saber, not too bad of a pattern. Blue into non-roaming red, one of the better patterns that you can get. Certainly not the best, but most runners would be happy to see that in a typical speed run. And the one cycle nose,
Nice.
not an easy strat to do either. So good to see that. Moving into Sigma 3, things are going to get interesting.
Can I chime in with a quick donation?
Please
Go for
do.
$20 coming from Sebler. They say, good luck, Apt.
Yo, Seb, thanks so much, dude.
Nice.
Appreciate
So
that,
quick
buddy.
difference here of the main game as well is the Dillo skip, but Apt positioning Zero's foot just right. The visual cues being much harder in this hack. So it's good to see, and a nice spark chase as well through the follow-up hallway. And now, hopefully, we're going to see an air saber. He does get it, but takes damage. Interesting. At least we got it through.
Interesting.
That is a plus. Probably use Spark through the next hallway here just in the hopes of health. Nope, we're going to boomerang for it instead. And moving on. So, Mandrill, for some reason, is beefier than normal and cannot be taken out by a single saber. So he gets one, and then I believe, yeah, we're just going to be hitting him with ice for the remaining health here. And luckily, even though we are shy on the sub-tanks, there is another bit of health coming up here just before the Octo fight. Nice boomerang grab, and off we go. Thankfully, the remaining bosses, so Octo, Mammoth, and D-Rex, all vulnerable as normal to the Saber, but the D-Rex Hado or D-Rex Saber in this case. Again, it's just slightly difficult to line up compared to normal. Just that sprite difference again coming into play.
Yep.
Hopefully we see 2 more of these sabers. And then we get on to the real interesting part
Yep.
of this ROM hack. Probably one of the stranger additions to the ROM hack coming up here.
Oh, that's one of my favorites, though.
But again, on really good pace. Surprisingly, this has been the culmination of App's efforts through the day. We do get the D-Rex Saber, but yeah, just really very, very impressed with how smooth this run is going.
To answer Manic's question in the chat, I think it's all worse.
Yeah, I believe everything in the game is worse as Zero, which is unfortunate because everybody knows that Zero is best girl.
Oh, absolutely. That is 100% for sure.
Apt taking things wrong here with the right wall. That's okay, we'll forgive him.
Well, you did just say it's the right wall, so... Played yourself with that one.
And yeah, here is the major difference of Sigma 4. You might notice there's more than one doggo. We're getting the double Awoo. And each one of them takes more than one saber. I'm not sure what we've got going on for sub-tanks here.
We don't.
So this is going to be...
Alright, we're good.
An interesting situation here with Jedi Sigma. Unusually, even though you just had to do 4 sabers to take out 2 dogs, in this hack, Jedi Sigma does die to just 1 saber. So we're going to be seeing the any percent fight here instead. But Apt is actually a very well-rounded runner, playing multiple different categories, lots of ROM hacks, lots of goofy strategies thrown in, so this any percent fight is not new to him.
I think I'm going to choose to take that as a compliment. Thanks, man.
Very backhanded compliment. He does have a PhD in tomfoolery, so I've heard.
Man, my undergraduate. Oh, no.
All right, so we're a little bit low on health here. Bad claw pattern to start, and again, just trying to line up Zero's sprite on these claws is not an easy task, and the claw is really not being friendly about it either. We are 1 hit from death, but he does get it through.
Nice.
That is the run.
And that's a PB by 1:26.
And a PB, multiple golds. Impressive to see. Well done.
Oh, I was so scared in that last fight.
Didn't go as smoothly as expected, but we got there in the end, and now we get to see X back after his encounter with Vile standing on the cliff.
Yeah, X is taking a well-deserved break.
Clearly having done the vast majority of the work, and oddly enough, depending on how long we're in here for, if the final words here do pass through once we get to the end credits, we will see Zero running on the highway instead of X. So just another oddity of this ROM hack, but a welcome one.
Mannix, Trials, do you have any shout-outs? Anything at all?
Oh boy. Well, if I can give one obvious shout out here, it's going to be to Aptamerica for doing this run. He, I believe, was not entirely sure if he was going to be running for this incentive or not until earlier today, so he put a lot of time and effort into just re-familiarizing himself with this Zero run, and clearly it shows. This has been a very actual smooth run of this ROM hack, and technically, as far as we know, that's world record. So guys, if you want to see more goofiness and speed combined into one smart entity here. Twitch.tv/Aptamerica. I have been O'Trials on comms. Twitch.tv/O'Trials. And yeah, guys, thanks very much for having us. Everybody, check out the childsplay.org website. Fantastic cause that they're raising money for here.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me, Charles, for doing the comms for this. Everyone should check his channel out too. The undisputed master of the intro to Mega Man X just got the world record in that. Thank you so much for helping out with this, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey,
and thank you a ton
anytime.
to all the Carter Freak and everyone helping out. Super Jamoose, Manix. Thanks a ton to all you guys for helping us be a part of this.
All right, one last time, congratulations to all of our runners, all of our staff behind the curtains, making sure everything goes smoothly. And of course, shout outs to you, every single one of you, for your views, your love, your donations, your support, everything and anything. That is the end of day 2 of Pixels for People. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning for day 3 at around 3:45 a.m. in the eastern U.S. We're going to be knee-deep in the dead with doom on your Sunday morning. And for now, that is all from me. Until next time, stay determined, go fast. Good night, everyone.